Concept of sentence in prescriptive grammar. Prescriptive grammar that suggests that how people should use their language. A sentence is a group of words that are put together to mean something. So, according to the prescriptivist, a sentence is a group of words. They are put together to mean something. So, another example, a sentence is the basic unit of language which expresses a complete thought. The grammarians say that there are more than 200 definitions of a sentence. So this is a very common definition. You ask somebody and they would say that a group of words that expresses a complete thought. So the most important element or phrase in this definition of the sentence, according to the descriptivist, is a complete thought. So let's see what is a complete thought. It does this by following the grammatical rules of sentence. So this complete thought follows certain grammatical rules. For example, Sana is the most intelligent girl in the class. We call it a sentence because it gives us a complete thought. This group of words expresses a complete thought. A subject and a main verb to state a complete thought. So, in other words, we can say that a sentence must have a subject that we are talking about and must have a verb that consists of a predicate or that has a that is part of a predicate that says something about the subject. So even the smallest example like this, walkers walk, can be a sentence because it has a subject and it has a predicate which carries only a verb. In English and many other languages, the first word of a written sentence has a capital letter. So generally, after giving us definition like a group of words that gives a complete or expresses a complete thought, we say that the group of words starts with a capital letter and ends with a full stop, right? Full point, or like as of American, right? So this is important. This end punctuation is also explained in the definition of the sentence. Obviously, we know that there can be any terminal mark like interrogative sign or exclamatory sign. At the end of the sentence, there is a full stop or full point according to the Americans. So a sentence typically contains a subject and predicate conveying a statement. So we know that sentences are of different type. Statement sentence, we call them declarative sentence, a question, interrogative sentence, exclamatory sentences or optative sentence, or command imperative sentence that can have a request or some other command and consist of a main clause and sometimes one or more subordinate clauses. One thing about sentences is that they must have a clause, right? Or there can be more than one clause in a sentence, and there can be one or more than subordinate clauses in the sentence. A phrase or clause is part of a sentence. Phrase, according to the prescriptivist or the notional grammar, a group of words that has meaning but not complete meaning like that of a sentence. Clauses are the principal units that sentences are made of. This is an example of sentence. The dog is happy. So this is a complete example, expresses a complete thought. It's a clause, right? So in this sentence, the dog is the subject and is happy is the verb. Is the verb and happy is complement. Is here is a verb, complete verb, not a helping verb. However, if we look at this, the happy dog is a phrase, not a sentence. But if we say it, if a sentence gives a complete thought. This is the dog. The dog is happy and happy dog. What is the difference between the two? According to the prescriptivist, the dog is happy is a sentence, whereas the happy dog is not a sentence. So because there is no verb in this phrase, so without a verb, it cannot be a sentence. So a simple sentence has only one clause. So that's why we can say that one claused sentence. A sentence they must have at least one clause, otherwise it cannot be a sentence. Like the cat is sleeping, so the cat is a single clause sentence. Notional definition. A sentence expresses a complete thought. So this is a notional definition. But what does complete thought mean? A cabbage isn't a complete thought. A man isn't a complete thought. If it rains, I shan't come. It's a complete thought because it's a sentence. But how come? It's rain is one thought and I shan't come is another thought. So these are two thoughts, but we call it a single sentence. So according to this definition, it should be one thought. So there are certain questions on this very expression complete thought. However, we can say that it's a pair of subject and predicate. Let's look at this. It's raining. It's raining. If we take this as a sentence, what does it mean? So there are so many questions on the definition of a sentence, that how come that one group of thought can have a complete thought. We have seen that even sometime a group of word which does not have a verb in it can give a complete thought. So these are the questions which have been put up by certain linguists. So after discussing on what is a sentence and what is not a sentence, and how we can understand the concept of a sentence, not focusing on a complete thought, Palmer in his book Grammar says that the sentence is a linguistic unit that has the grammatical structure we assign to it. So we can safely say that sentence is a group of linguistic unit to which we assign a certain structure.